with your host, Lady ReShell.
Welcome to another empowering episode of Warriors Talk, where we move away from awareness towards action. I'm your host, Lady Rochelle, and today is a very special day. I am honored and excited to officially launch my new book, Take Charge of Cancer, a guided journal for healing, faith, and empowerment. This just isn't a book, it's a companion for every warrior navigating the emotional, spiritual, and practical journey through cancer. Whether you have been newly diagnosed, in the middle of treatment, or walking alone a loved one, this journal is created for you. We are live on Intellectual Radio. We just heard from the Drive at 5 with Roman. Keep it locked right here on Intellectual Radio and allow us to feed your brain. On the last episode of Warriors Talk, I talked about sisters supporting brothers, helping the men we love take charge of their health. You can head on over to YouTube and type in Intellectual Radio and stay connected for any episodes you may have missed. The quote of the day is: Life is 10% what happens to us and 90% of how we react. That quote is by Leslie Medley Russell. Save the date. Warriors Talk will be having our ninth annual Survivor Celebration and Reflection Gala taking place on Saturday, October the 18th at the Crystal Sky Banquet at 12 p.m. to 4 p.m. And this is our biggest event of the year. We're going to honor cancer survivors, support warriors in battle, and reflect on strength, hope, and faith that has carried us through the fight. So tickets will go on sale in July. Mark your calendars. You do not want to miss it. I'm so grateful for my sponsor on today. We have Pastor Michael Richardson with the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ, who has a special message for us.
Greetings, I am Pastor Michael Richardson.
And I am First Lady Anastasia Richardson from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We're located at 3058 West Van Buren in Chicago, Illinois. We are building upon a solid foundation.
And we're inviting you to join us every Sunday morning on Facebook Live at Emmanuel Kojic at 10:15 Central Standard Time. And you can also view our videos on our YouTube channel at Emmanuel Kojic-MR. Once again, this is Pastor Michael Richardson
and First Lady Anastasia Richardson. And we're from the Emmanuel Church of God in Christ. We are building upon a solid foundation.
Cancer doesn't just attack your body, it tries to rob you of your peace, your confidence, and your sense of control. I can remember when I was diagnosed back in 2013 and I heard those words: you have cancer. And it felt like my world just stood still. And Take Charge of Cancer was actually born out of my own experience and the many stories I have heard from survivors and warriors who just need a safe space to process, to pray, to plan, and to push forward. So this journal gives you that space, biblical grounding, and heartfelt interactions that you can do on a daily basis. So let's just dive right into our topic on today, which is Take Charge of Cancer. And the first thing that you should do as it relates to taking care of cancer, the first chapter is to pray. Invite God into your battle. Don't do it alone. You can't do it alone. I don't know how people that believe in something different go through their battle, because I know for me, I had to really release and to cast my cares on Him because I couldn't do it alone. When I got tired of carrying the weight and trying to fight this battle by myself, I said, okay, God, I'm gonna let go and I'm gonna let God and I'm gonna allow you to handle this because I cannot. The weight is too heavy. You have to have something else to release that weight to. It's Him. Release it to Him and trust me, He will give you the peace that will surpass all understanding as you go through. And people will look at you and say, how are you peaceful? How are you laughing and living life as usual? And you have this cancer diagnosis. Well, God will give that to you. All you have to do is ask. Seek Him and ask for that peace. So prayer is going to be your first thing that you do. Why? Because that's communication with God. It's your intimate communication with Him. There are some things that when you're going through a cancer diagnosis, you can't say or tell anybody else. You may not want anybody else to hear it because you don't want them to think that you're losing your mind. So He will be the person to tell it to because He is not going to share your secrets with anyone else. So I encourage you to release your cares, your fears, release it to Him. Read His scriptures. The scriptures gives you that sense of peace. It gives you that sense of confidence when you're going through your battle to let you know that, oh yeah, I can make it through this battle. There's nothing too hard for God. He is there with me. And I always say that He allowed it. He allowed it for a reason. So if He allowed it, then that means He know that you can carry it. He know that you can get through it and that there's a purpose for it. So make sure you take time out to pray, not just about, oh Lord, heal me from cancer, because there's so many different aspects of it. Lord, protect my mental, because going through it, you can go mentally insane. People commit suicide receiving a cancer diagnosis. Sometimes the treatment is just too hard, and sometimes they don't want to go on with life. We had a young man that was on my show. His name was Jackson. Young man, nice looking man, and he had cancer, and he ended up committing suicide. He had been through the battle, and he got re-diagnosed, and he decided that he couldn't. He couldn't go through it again. And so you need God to protect your mental space when you're going through a cancer diagnosis. You need God to protect the relationships, to cover them, and to make sure that you have the right people that are going to surround you, pour into you, and help keep you uplifted while you're going through. That can pray with you, get you a prayer partner. You need someone that's going to be able to pray with you, pray for you, pray over you when you can't do it yourself, when you just feel like you don't want to do it yourself, when you feel like I'm done trying to do it myself. You're going to need somebody to help you. It was very tragic because he was someone who was an advocate for breast cancer. And he was out in the forefront, going to different events, sharing his story. And then all of a sudden I saw on Facebook that he passed, and I'm like, oh my goodness, like, no, what happened? And then I was at an event and they were talking about suicide and his name came up. And my heart just sank, and I was like, Lord, no, like, oh my goodness. So the mental part it plays a very strong role. While you're going through the physical treatment, talk to your doctor about going through some type of mental counseling, mental health counseling, something that's going to be able to help you get through this diagnosis and come out healed mentally, physically, spiritually. You want everything to be in alignment. So prayer is going to be your first and your best weapon when it comes to taking charge of cancer. Number 2 is going to be process the diagnosis. Get honest about what you're feeling. And I always say you have to process it with yourself first before you can tell anybody. You need to process it yourself and say, okay, what's going on here? What exactly am I going to be dealing with? Be real with yourself. Be honest with yourself. And go through that process before you tell somebody, because this is what's going to happen. As soon as you tell somebody, they're going to have all kind of comments or all kind of remedies, or this is why you have the cancer. And you need to arm yourself with some information, get through those, process those feelings, so that when you decide to tell someone else, you're able to do it without just going crazy, without going insane, without breaking down every single time you have to tell someone, because you're processing it all over again every time you release the information to somebody. So take the time to process it with yourself. If you have to take a trip and go somewhere and sit in silence, journal, go get a massage, go, to a spa, and just have somebody take care of you as you process this information. Then you can face people and say, okay, yes, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm doing. And if I want to, I'll keep y'all updated. But you're going to have to make sure you process the information yourself first. And chapter 3 is about accepting the diagnosis, not as defeat, but as preparation for victory. Many people say, oh, no, I'm not going to accept it because if I accept it, that means it's going to be real. That means no, the cancer is there, it is already there. So whether you accept it or not, it's already in your body. And guess what? It didn't start yesterday. So it's not going to take a day to get rid of it. It didn't start in a day. So by you saying, okay, the doctor said that I have cancer. So what am I going to do with this? You're going to prepare yourself for victory, right? You're not just going to sit there and die with that information, but you're going to get your information together and say, okay, doc, what do I need to do to conclude to victory with this? Because let's be real. Cancer is not a death sentence for everybody. It really is not a death sentence for everyone. Some people get cancer and they go on to live a long life after chemo, after surgery. And yeah, they may have, the residue of cancer, but they're still living. So cancer is not a death sentence. I always say it's an awakening to live your best life. It wakes you up and you face your mortality and you say, okay, wait a minute. I've been playing all this time. Let me live for real. Let me really enjoy and embrace life. And all the things that are unnecessary, that have little meaning, that does not bring me joy, peace, happiness, guess what? I do not want to be bothered. So you have to sit down and you have to accept that this is what you're going to be dealing with. This is something that has been part of your life. It's a chapter. I always want to say it's a chapter in your life. And it doesn't have to end with that chapter, right? It doesn't have to end. So accept, okay, the doctor said this, and what are you going to do about it? You're going to prepare for victory. Number 4, get the facts. Do your research. Don't just sit there and say, oh no, what am I going to do? I don't know what to do. You listening to everybody else telling you all this negative stuff about cancer, and then you go into this deep depression because you don't know what to do because you're so busy listening to everybody else. Gather your facts from some reliable sources. Do your research. Don't be afraid to. And let me just say this, it can be scary. It can be scary doing your own research and finding out the information of what cancer does, finding out the statistics about death, the statistics about recurrence, and it can be devastating, right? Get the information, process it, add it to your toolbox so that when you need to use it, you have those facts. Get all of the facts. Okay, what type of cancer is this? Okay, what stage is it? What grade is it? Okay, all right. And what are the years of survival? What is it? What's the percentage? Ask those questions. Don't be afraid to ask those questions because you just going through your cancer diagnosis, going to treatment, and not really understanding what's happening in your body. No, don't do that to yourself. Don't put on blinders going through this diagnosis. You need to equip yourself with the information so that you can make smart, informed decisions as the doctor brings stuff to you. Absolutely. Peer reviews journals we know that they're well respected and they have done their research. And so this is something that you should be looking at. I mean, some stuff that may be on YouTube, some stuff that may be on Google, it may not be fact checked. It may not be accurate a lot of times, but the peer review journals will have some accurate information that they have fact checked. So use those journals. Talk to your doctor and ask them questions. If you're not getting information from your doctor, Go to another doctor. They have seminars, they have workshops that you can go to. I go every year with the National Breast Cancer Coalition, and we're just not advocating out in Washington. We're actually in a workshop. We're going to different workshops, learning about the latest and the greatest information about cancer. So step out and go to some of these seminars and equip yourself with the information again so you can make an informed decision for you, because some people will tell you what to do, but it may not benefit you. Go and get your own information. So when you're making a decision, you're making it for yourself. Number 5 is take action. Reclaim your power. Cancer is a powerful word. It is. Let's just face it. When you hear the words that you have cancer, all kind of thoughts go through your mind. I'm about to die. Oh my God, I'm about to be bald headed. I'm about to lose some weight. I'm about to be sickly. This cancer is going to come back. They never going to be able to get rid of this cancer. All kind of things is going to come through your mind. Why me? What did I do wrong? Did I do something wrong? Oh, it must have been that time when I did this. And trust me, your mind is going to be all over the place. You have to reclaim your power. Take action with the cancer. Don't just sit there and just, okay, yeah, I have it. And no, do something. This is your life. Marquita says, if you are a woman of color, ask the doctor, how do women in their practice who look like you do with the suggested treatment? Great question. Great question. Because you need to know that. Why you need to know that? Because the Black women are dying. We're dying from all different breast cancers, not just one. We have the highest mortality rate. Although our incident rate is not the same as Caucasian women, for some reason, when we get it, we are 41% more likely to die from it. So that is a great question. You have to be prepared to take charge of cancer. And this is one way to do it. Being informed, asking those questions. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, okay, the doctor said, no. You should be involved in your cancer journey and not just taking orders from the doctor. Why am I taking this medicine? Why is this treatment best for me? What are the side effects on this treatment? Is it long-term side effects on this treatment? And if you're a woman that's young and you want to have kids, will this stop me from having children? Would this mess with my heart? Would it mess with my kidneys? How likely is this cancer to recur using this treatment? These are all questions that you need to ask. And trust me, you will get overwhelmed. But I always say use it as a pie. When you eat a pie, you don't eat the whole pie. You slice the pie, right, into slices. And then you eat it one slice at a time, right? You may not eat it all in one day. You may come back the next day or come back later that day. And then you do the same thing with this information. You take it in slowly and digest it. And when you go to the doctor, you be ready with your questions to ask. Maybe this is how I want to be treated. This is what I looked this up. I saw this. I attended a seminar or a workshop, and this is what they were talking about. This new treatment that came out or therapy. Can we use this? Do I qualify for this? Clinical trials. They always complain that African American women are not in clinical trials. And then when the medicine comes down the pipeline, it's not working for us. Why? Because they didn't even test it on us, because we're not there. You can go to clinicaltrials.gov and look for clinical trials in your area. You could talk to your doctor and say, hey, I'm interested in a clinical trial. Do they have a clinical trial for the type of cancer that I have? Am I able to participate? You got to ask. You have to ask. when you're going through a cancer diagnosis, you can't do it alone. You're going to need help. You're going to need some help. So ask for help from those trusted people that you know is going to get the job done. Ask for help. You can't do it by yourself. You shouldn't do it by yourself. If you have to delegate someone to enlist people to do things that you need, that way they're going through just one person and they're not bothering you, then do that. And talk to that person and say, okay, these are the things that I need help with. And the people that are saying that they want to help me, you can put this out here and say, you could put a calendar out and say, hey, on these days, these are the things that she needs help with. Sign up, and then they know what they have to do. And that way, people are not bombarding you with information. Because people will be like, oh, yeah, girl, I'm here if you need me. Let me know how I can help. No, tell me how you can help. You tell me, what can you do? What are you capable of? What do you have? What are your limits? Because what I ask you to do, it may not be what you want to do. It may not be something you're capable of doing. So let me know what it is that you could do to help me. And then we should be seeking professional help. A lot of times we don't seek professional help, and you should. You should always seek professional help. I talked about it earlier. No one should be going through a cancer diagnosis without seeking professional help. Why would you want to? And the funny thing is, I was not asked when I went through my cancer diagnosis, I was not asked by my doctor, not one time, would you like to talk to someone? Or how are you feeling mentally? Never asked. Just so engrossed in the physical. Not one time did she ask me, did I need help mentally? And it should go hand in hand. If you're going to be putting all of these toxins in my body and you're going to put this heavy diagnosis on me that has the potential to wipe me out, especially the treatment, then why not offer me some type of professional help to help me process this, to help me release this? Because sometimes friends and family may not get it. And sometimes you may not even want to tell them what's happening, what's going on in your mind. You may not. Sometimes it's easier to talk to a stranger and say, this is what I'm thinking. I've thought about suicide, and I just want to release it. I just want to say it to somebody. Do I really want to kill myself? No. But I thought about it. You need to release that. Why keep it in? Release it. And there are oncologists that are therapists, and they deal with individuals just for that. So don't be afraid to get help. Don't be afraid to say, I'm getting help. I need the help. Because no one should have to go through a cancer diagnosis bearing the weight of it without releasing it. And a lot of times you holding on to it is stress. And stress compromises your immune system. And when your immune system is compromised, it allows for dis-ease, which allows for disease. Yes, a cancer diagnosis. I always say I believe it, that it came about because of stress. I was so stressed out for like a two and a half period, 3 years. And yeah, it could have started way before that. Or my stress just could have, we all have cancer cells in our body anyway. The stress just could have sped that thing up. Release it. You should not have to go through it by yourself. You should not have to go through it by yourself. Marquita said a cancer diagnosis, yes, a cancer diagnosis is traumatic. Uh, Enough people are not talking about it. It is traumatic. It's traumatic. I'm going to tell you, when I first got diagnosed, I sat in the dark and I cried for months, just in the dark, just crying, just trying to release this thing. I cried for months. It took me a while to, and at the time I didn't know that I was depressed. I just felt like, okay, this is happening to me. I'm releasing this. But yeah, I cried for months. I would shut the door when my kids went to sleep to my bedroom. I would lock it because I didn't want them to hear me or see me crying. It is traumatic. And I get triggered traumatically every time I hear somebody diagnosed, hear somebody passed away. I get triggered all over again. And I'm just like, Jesus. Like, where is the cure? Like, it's too many people. Cancer is almost like a common cold. It's like, he was diagnosed with cancer. Oh, okay. Oh, he got a cold. Everybody knows someone who has been diagnosed with cancer. There's nobody probably walking on this earth to say, okay, no, nobody. We all do. We know somebody, whether they're in our family, they're connected to our family. We know someone that was diagnosed. And it is a traumatic situation. And if you don't get help for it, it could get worse. It could get worse. You have to have a way to release all of it. And it may not, this I always say PTSD. This is something that you may deal with for the rest of your life, but getting help will allow you to know how. It will give you the tools to know how to deal with it and to what to do when you get triggered. A lot of times we want to keep it to ourselves. We don't want to talk to anybody because we don't want them to know. We feel ashamed, and release it. Release it. Don't keep it to yourself. You need to find out, once you're diagnosed, what course of action you're going to take with your cancer diagnosis. You got to have a map. You got to have a blueprint. You got to know exactly what it is that you're going to do and how you're going to do it. Okay, the doctor said I had to have chemo. What type of chemo is it? When do I have to have this chemo? What do I do when I get home after I have had the chemo? When do I call the doctor back if I'm having these symptoms? What am I going to do about work? What am I going to do about my kids? You need to map out some course of action on what you're going to do about the cancer. So have a plan. Put it in action. Take your plan to your doctor and say, hey, this is what I desire. Why? Because it's your body. And you should have a say-so in how you want to be treated. Don't just leave it all up to the doctor. You should be actively taking charge of cancer. And it comes with everything that you have to do from the day you were diagnosed all the way up until when you have surgery to when you're into survivorship. Cancer is not just a one and done diagnosis. No, it's not. You are a survivor for the rest of your life. They don't say, oh, you're a survivor, and after 5 years, then you're okay, you're good, you can go about your life. No, you're going to be forever called a survivor. Forever. Which is, not a bad thing. I want to do more than just survive, I want to thrive. I want to be out here thriving, not just Oh, girl, yeah, I'm getting through. I'm making it. No, girl, I'm surviving. I'm out here writing books. I'm doing a podcast. I'm hosting an annual gala. Like, no, I'm doing stuff. I'm mentoring people who are newly diagnosed. I'm not just sitting back surviving. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it. Keep on living. Keep living because cancer does not define your life. Don't allow cancer to define all of who you are. Take your power back. Reclaim your power and keep living. Stay healthy, exercise. If you had a cancer diagnosis, you should not be doing business as usual. When it comes to your health, there should be some changes that should be made. Looking over what it is that you eat and put in your body on a regular basis that could be contributing to cancer. Not moving could be contributing to cancer. Stress, talked about it, could be contributed to cancer. You should be living your best life after a cancer diagnosis. If you're able to get up, get around, you're in your right mind. You may have some limitations. You may have some residue of cancer, but you should keep living. Do not allow cancer to paralyze you into not living. Live beyond the diagnosis. What are you going to do now that you are in survivorship, which is you're out of treatment, you're out of active treatment, then now you move into the survivorship phase. What are you doing? What are you doing? How are you making your life count? How are you helping other people? And some people may say, I don't want to help. I don't want to do that. I don't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to share my story. I don't want to write a book. I don't want to be on a podcast. And that's fine. You don't have to. You could talk to somebody one-on-one. You don't necessarily have to be out, doing those things. You could journal. You can send cards. I know a lady that has her cancer organization revolves around her and her crew sending cards out to individuals with cancer to brighten their day. And who don't want to receive, you get a card in the mail, you may be having a hard day, and then all of a sudden you get this card in the mail. And you're like, oh, wow, that really brightened my day. And that's all her organization does, is they mail out cards to individuals who are newly diagnosed, sending them encouragement. There's something for all of us to do. You just need to find out what it is that God purposed you to do. So there it is, you guys. I have officially launched my new book, which is Take Charge of Cancer. It's a guided journal for individuals for healing, for faith, and empowerment. And I was so excited. It's actually the sister book to my Take Charge of Cancer. It gives you 10 tips on how to take charge of cancer. So this is the journal portion of the book. And again, it's for individuals who are newly diagnosed, who are in their journey, or you may be taking care of someone who has cancer and you need to release. Caregivers need to release as well. You don't need to bottle all of that inside of you when you are taking care of someone with cancer. When someone is diagnosed in your family with cancer, guess what? The whole family is dealing with cancer. The whole entire family. And sometimes they may need to be in therapy because they need to learn how to process your diagnosis as well. So don't take your cancer diagnosis lightly. Don't take it lightly, but make sure that you going through this cancer diagnosis, that it means something. It means something. And you're not just going through to be going through. I often say that healing doesn't happen in isolation. So whether you are a patient or a caregiver or survivor, Take Charge of Cancer walks with you. It validates your fears, it honors your faith, and it inspires you to keep moving forward, fighting back with a purpose. Because believe me, cancer gonna be fighting inside of you, so you need to make sure that you're doing everything that you can. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, Marquita. She said congratulations, and she likes the book cover. Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm so excited about this journal. It took me so long to get this journal out. The original book was released in 2020, and so I have been working on the journal for that long. I mean, sometimes I would put it down, go back to it, put it down, go back to it. And I'm like, okay, I have got to get this done so that it could get in the hands of the individuals who need it. So just remember, you're not just surviving. You're journaling your way through strength, through healing, and it has some affirmations in here for you to journal prompts. It has scriptures in here, and then it also has uplifting quotes. It has a wellness check for you to check in. How are you doing today? Because sometimes we may not have people to check in on us. So you could check in on yourself, and it has a checklist to say, how are you doing today? What are you doing with yourself today? So I'm excited about the book, you guys. I'm excited. So if you would like, this is my pre-sale phase right here. So if you would like to get in on the pre-sale, I would encourage you to email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com, or you can inbox me, and then I will send you the link so that you can register for the pre-sale, and you can get this book in your hand, or you can sponsor copies for someone else. If it's a cancer center or someone's having an event and you want to get copies, just email me so we can talk about you getting copies so it could get in the hands of the individuals who need it. And to every warrior that's listening tonight, take this journal and make it your own. Write in it, cry on the pages, lift up prayers, victories. Again, you were not meant to face a cancer diagnosis alone. God is with you, and the book reminds you, it's a reminder that your story is still being written. This is not your final chapter. It's being written with power, with purpose, and hope. So share this video with someone that you know that may be going through a cancer journey. They may have went through a cancer journey, or they are supporting someone who's going through a cancer journey. They may want to get them the book. Again, you can email me at warriorstalk1@gmail.com to get your copy and get in on the pre-sale. I want to highlight my sponsor, Gloria Dotson. With Mary Kay, she is catering to all of your beauty needs from head to toe. You can go to marykay.com/GDOTSON and make sure you tell her that Warriors Talk sent you. Warriors Talk is always looking for guests to share their journey. It could be a cancer journey. It could be a journey of healing, a journey of triumph. It doesn't necessarily have to be a cancer journey. We want journeys that is going to empower other individuals, lift them up, and give them hope. And if you did it, we want to share with someone else so that they know that they could do it as well. So again, I appreciate you tuning in with me for my book launch of my guided journal, Take Charge of Cancer. Again, share this video out so that others can get it, and they can get the book and they can get the message to let them know that they are not alone in this cancer journey. And I will leave you with these words of wisdom. You don't have to walk through this journey alone. Healing often begins with the courage to reach out. So join me next Monday right here on Intellectual Radio at 6 p.m. As always, thank you for tuning in to Warriors Talk with author and founder Lady ReShell, where we are changing lives one warrior at a time.
Thank you for listening to this week's edition of Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell. To find out more about Warriors Talk, follow at Warriors Talk, the number 1, on all social media outlets, and Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell on YouTube. Please join us next week and every Monday evening at 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on intellectualradio.com for Warriors Talk with Lady ReShell, where we encourage, educate, and empower you into action.